Hi, I'm Anthony of HM Model Railway Store. We are located here in the High Street Mews of Leighton Buzzard with convenient links to the M1 motorway. We stock all the major manufacturers in N, 009, 00 and O. Our exclusive partners include Cavalex, Hornby, Batman and many others. We have a wide selection of DCC components which include controllers, decoders and many other accessories. Unique to our store is the Batman US Thomas & Friends collectible range. Here at AGR, we also have an exclusive range of 009 wagons from Pico and exclusive wagons in 00 from Rapido and Bat. We also have major accessories for all scales including Metcar, Model U, Humbrol and many others. In store we also offer our repair service which can include DCC and DCC sound installs from our expert team. Come visit us in store or see us at one of the UK's largest model railway shows up and down the country where we specialise in the pre-owned selection of stock. Alternatively, visit our website agrmodelrailwaystore.co.uk.
Hello and welcome back to the workshop where I'm joined by Accurascale Steve Purves. Steve, you've brought in an array of decorated samples of the Hunslet Austerity 060 saddle tanks.
Yes, I have. So these are obviously the latest decorated samples. They've arrived with me for check-in and some final sampling before we put them into production.
So for those who don't know a great deal about the Austerity 060 saddle tanks, just to give us a brief outline of the history.
Yeah, so these were, originally they were built back in the 1940s for the War Department, or for the War Office as it was, and they were a general purpose shunting and light goods locomotive, and they built around 470 odd of these. But because they were so easy to use and powerful as well, they lasted a long time, right up until the end of steam in sort of 1980s even. So there's plenty of chance to put plenty of colour on them, almost any excuse to run one. You know, they can run them for BR when they were used as J94s, so LNER and BR, also into private ownership and National Coal Board. So there's almost an engine for every railway.
With 470 odd, there's plenty for you to go.
Yeah, and they're also the most common locomotive in preservation as well. So there's most people will have a memory of an Austerity, you know, growing up. They'd have travelled on one or seen one, or even now, you know, they're just coming back into vogue again. So there's a couple doing the circuit that are quite well known.
So you've announced 6 initial models, haven't you?
Yep, and we've teased an exclusive or maybe 2 exclusives, and one of them can be seen on the railway in front of us today.
Indeed. Talk us through this one.
So this is Longmoor 196, named Errol Lonsdale. So it was repainted and tarted up back in the late 1960s for the Longmoor Military Railway, named after Major General Errol Lonsdale, who was in charge of the Corps of Transport. And this was, as it was right up till the end of and the closure of Longmoor Military Railway, and through its preservation life, this locomotive survives, and it's running on a Dutch railway now. It's actually sold into the Netherlands. It's running over there. But in this condition, we're looking like late 1960s onwards into preservation.
So loco I remember well as a child, knee-high to a grasshopper on the Midlands Railway. That was one of the locomotives that was running at the time. So talk us through the spec for this particular model.
So this one, all the Austerities, they come with a cordless motor and all-wheel pickup, all the usual refinements with the twin speakers, stay alive and so on. So Longmoor one is no different to that. We're going to be offering it as not just as a standalone, but as you can see here with an accompanying pair of Longmoor coaches, which would have run with in service. So this will be our first real train pack of locomotive and coaches.
It's a stunning train pack there.
It's great, isn't it?
It's just all in one. It's there. It's going to look the part.
Yeah. Once they're together, like you say, it's a complete set in a box.
Absolutely. So talk us through the other colour schemes you're doing, the other 6 that we can see on display.
Yeah, so probably the best way to look at it chronologically, we've got the desert sand one. So originally the specification for the War Office locos was to be painted desert sand. So we've got one of the early desert sand ones that went into LNER ownership post the Second World War, end of the Second World War. and that gained the LNER lettering, and it was numbered in the 8000 series. I think this was an Immingham loco, I'm not too sure, but it was certainly east of England. And so that's quite striking. That's not been done in a long time on any model. And then moving later in the J94's history, you've got the 68012, which is a Darlington engine. This now has gained the later modifications that BR had, so it's got an extra set of steps and some handrails on the tank. But this engine in particular was shedded. Darlington Shed is where our warranty team live, so we're actually based on the old Darlington Shed, so that's why we chose that one, because it's a bit special to us. But the biggest purchaser really post Second World War was the National Coal Board. So we've got a selection of National Coal Board locos. We've got Warrior, which was northwest England. We've got Glendale, which was a Welsh engine. And the NCB black one down at the front was a Lambton one. And again, that's got unique tooling with the Lambton cab, with the cutaway cab corners. And something that people may not have noticed is the injectors. The Lambton Railway, the NCB North East, they moved the injectors from underneath the running board up on top of it. So we've got a nice bit of bespoke mould in there.
So you've got plenty incorporated into your tooling suite.
Yeah, totally. And obviously when you look at Warrior as well, that's got the Giesel chimney, which again I don't think has been done before. So then also we've got the ore mining loco. So that's British Steel Company's. That particular engine, number 18, was based at Scunthorpe. It's one of the original austerities that went there. British Steel were closely linked to the Yorkshire Engine Company, and the Yorkshire Engine Company built some more post-war for the ore mining branch. So yeah, although the NCB were the biggest user of austerities post-war, it wasn't just them. So you had things like the Port of London that had them, and other smaller industrial concerns. And so with the NCB ones, you've got such a variety in liveries, between the plain black right to the wasp stripes, different colours and flavours of wasp stripes. So there's something for everybody on these.
So it's probably fair to say as well, with the tooling suite that you've put together, that you could pretty much be busy for several decades probably with this model.
Yeah, I mean, we've already planned out most of Run 2. So Run 2 decorated samples are well underway. Run 3 we're thinking about. We've almost got a plan for that in place. So these are really a model that we'll just keep being able to produce in so many different varieties and flavours.
So we've seen the detailed variations that you're introducing for the initial batch.
Yeah.
We have seen the J94 before. What makes yours different to what's gone before?
Yeah.
So the previous incarnations of Austerity J94, they've all had some things, but I think this is the first time that the whole family has been looked at. So little features that we've been able to refine and improve upon, things like little feature, but the whole wheel boss itself. I think it's the first time that the cast wheel boss has been modelled correctly on a model. But we've also got extras like the vacuum braking equipment on the Longmore ones, which is fitted in a unique way compared to some of the later preservation ones we've got. Maybe not announced just yet, but we've got the tooling for the preservation ones where they've routed the vacuum ejector and pipework in a different manner. We've got the Giesel chimney, which, like I say, I don't think that's been done before. There's been some tooling that we've teased in the launch video when we did that for different versions of chimney, so the gas producing version. So the Lambton cabs I don't think have ever been done properly before. So we've got the cutaway Lambton cab, the Lambton injectors like I spoke about before. So really it's the whole project. We're not just looking at producing a few locos, we're looking at the whole family and the variations, even down to the cab floor, whether it's got a planked cab floor or a steel plate. So you can see whether it's got, these are incorrectly painted white for some reason, but they will be corrected. The sandbox fillers for the rear sandboxes, which are in the cab, you can see those. And the cab equipment, so inside on the back head, if it's got vacuum braking, you've got the vacuum brake control valve in there. So it really is a full project.
That is an exceptional level of detail to go to, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're going to do it, and the thing is, there's an existing model out there, and we're always conscious of the duplication word and how well is it going to be received. But if you're going to do it, you've got to do it right, and you've got to go up to that next level of detail to incorporate all these little features. On Warrior, it's got the Giesel ejector. That's the first thing that strikes you. But actually, if you look above the side steps, that's only got one side handrail above the side steps at the front, whereas all the others have got two. So there's certain things that are really small details that you don't appreciate until you line them up and look at all the different variations.
How long has a project like this taken you?
Oh, Christ. A long time. When you start looking at it, from the very beginning, you start looking, you read the books, you read all the material that you've got. The Industrial Rail Society have been incredibly helpful in helping me with research material, drawings we've acquired from different locations, site visits, obviously things with the different chimney that might not be documented properly. You've got to go out and see all the different variations if you're going to incorporate them properly. So I must have visited a dozen locos to survey just to get all the information in the right place.
Now, eagle-eyed viewers will also have spotted the tension lock couplings that you've got going on there.
Yeah, so this is a little hobby horse of mine I've been wanting to do for a while, and we've been talking about it for a while at Accurascale. We said, well, let's just give it a go and see. And I teased it on the Class 60 a while ago when we put the samples in the cabinets. And so a few people, eagle-eyed people, noticed it. But this will be the first project along with the 60, so with diesel market and steam market, really, that we're going to put them on. So these are the Invisilocks, we've called them. It's a clear moulded tension lock coupler. Now, these are not supposed to be the next word in couplings, so it's not going to replace your KDs or your magnetics or whatever else, but it's for those people that are using tension lock couplers just to make them that little bit less intrusive on the layout. So it's not completely invisible. You can still see the black coupling hooks, which when they're coupled, it almost looks like a chain coupling anyway. But it just reduces that visual impact of the big black coupling on the front of the loco. Because it's a trial, because it's a test, we're going to put them on all of these, and we're going to put some black ones in the bag as well, so if anybody doesn't particularly like it, they can swap them out. And obviously we'd love to hear feedback from that, and I think it works great.
Yeah. Now, importantly, how much and when are they likely to appear?
So for a standard DCC ready Austerity, so that's got your twin speakers, your firebox flicker, your stay alive, everything in there ready, that's 149. The sound fitted versions are going to be 249. They're available from us or from any of our retailers' websites, so if you have a look around you'll be able to find those. And the train pack, which is the locomotive and two coaches, so a standard and a brake, that's exclusive to us. That's only available through our website. That's going to be £299 or $399 with sound. They're all going to be due around the same time towards the end of this year, early part of next year.
Cool. Look, Steve, thank you for coming in today and sharing the decorated samples of the new Accurascale 00 gauge Hunslet Austerity 060 saddle tanks. You can read more details on our website at keymodelworld.com and in the latest issue of Hornby magazine. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.